In this video, we're going to construct a 95% confidence interval for the true mean. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at a sample from a uniform distribution between 0 and 1, and the sample size is going to be 20. So let's just go through and put our count equals this plus 1. And let's go to the right a bit. And let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 20. We sample from our uniform distribution between 0 and 1. The nice thing about this distribution is we know quite a bit about it. And we want the average. All right, so the average here is 0.6, 0.4, 0.5, and so on. We know the true average, the true mean of this uniform distribution is a half. Now, the confidence interval is going to have a lower bound and an upper bound. The lower bound is going to be this average plus standard error, which is the square root of 1/12. We know that from some other math, divided by the square root of 20, the sample size, times norm.inv of 2.5%. Right, if we're looking for the 95% confidence interval, that means 2.5% is below and 2.5% is above. Norm.s.in, sorry about that, 0.38. The upper bound is the average plus the standard error, square root of 1/12 divided by square root of 20. Right, square root of 1/12 is the standard deviation of the actual distribution. Square root of 20 is square root of the sample size times norm.s.inv of 0.975, 2.5% above. So the lower bound is 0.38, the upper bound is 0.63, and we can see in this instance that the true mean is within this confidence interval. And if we calculate this enough times, we'll find one in a minute, I'm sure, or not. If we calculate this enough times, we are going to find that about 5% of the time, the true mean is not, there's one, right? So the lower bound is 0.505, the upper bound is 0.75, right? The true mean is not within this confidence interval about 5% of the time, right? We are 95% confident that the true mean lies within the confidence interval. And if we do this exercise repeatedly, we should find about 5% of the time the true mean fails to be within the confidence interval, and 95% of the time the true mean falls within the confidence interval.